Learning objectives. Assalamu alaikum, my friends. How are you doing today? Our lesson today is about Adam, peace be upon him. Let's begin. The first person Allah Almighty created, my friends, is Adam, peace be upon him, for he is the father of all human beings. Allah Almighty created him from clay. Before Adam's creation, Allah Almighty created the angels, called the Malaika, from light. Likewise, Shaitan was created, but from fire. Adam, peace be upon him, has a story that Allah Almighty revealed to us in the Quran. So let me tell you this story, and then let's read it together from the Holy Quran. Allah Almighty created Adam, peace be upon him, and blew his spirit into him. Then Allah Almighty commanded the angels to bow down to Adam. This is because Allah Almighty created man for a great mission, which is to worship Allah Almighty and to build the earth, and with that, man has a great place. So the angels bowed down to Adam and obeyed Allah Almighty's command immediately. But there was someone who did not like the words of Allah Almighty and did not bow down to Adam. That person was Saint, otherwise known as Shaitan. He said that he was created from fire, but Adam was created from clay, and fire is better than clay. So Shaitan disobeyed the command of Allah Almighty. He did not accept that mankind should have high status. This was very bad behavior, and his punishment with Allah Almighty was severe, because he must obey Allah Almighty in what He commands. After that, Allah Almighty created Eve, peace be upon her, the wife of Adam, peace be upon him, and of course the mother of all mankind. Allah Almighty made paradise, which we call Jannah, a dwelling place for them, and allowed them to eat from everything in paradise, except for one tree. So they lived eating from everywhere in paradise, except from the tree that Allah Almighty commanded them not to eat from. But Shaitan whispered to them to eat from the tree. He lied to them and swore that he had good intentions. So they ate from it, and Allah Almighty made them leave paradise. He sent them down to earth, and Shaitan was sent down with them, so that Adam and Eve, peace be upon them, and their descendants, would worship Allah the Mighty on earth, and do good, and populate the earth by obeying Allah Almighty and doing good deeds. Then they will return to Allah and enter paradise, after which they leave it. Shaitan will also return to Allah, but he will enter hell, which we call Jahannam, with all the people who obeyed him from the descendants of Adam and Eve. That is how Adam, peace be upon him, the father of mankind, was the first prophet to call people to worship Allah Almighty, obey His commands, and stay away from Shaitan's orders. Now, my friends, let's listen to the story of Adam, peace be upon him, from the Holy Quran. In the name of Allah, the most compassionate, most merciful. Surely we created you, then shaped you, then said to the angels, prostrate before Adam. So they all did, but not Iblis, who refused to prostrate with the others. Allah asked, what prevented you from prostrating when I commanded you? He replied, I am better than he is. You created me from fire, and him from clay. Allah said, then you get down from paradise. It is not for you to be arrogant here. So get out. You are truly one of the disgraced. Then Allah the Almighty said about Adam and Eve, peace be upon them, entering Jannah. In the name of Allah, the most compassionate, most merciful. We cautioned, O Adam, live with your wife in paradise, and eat as freely as you please, but do not approach this tree, or else you will be wrongdoers. But Shaitan deceived them, leading to their fall from the blissful state they were in. And we said, descend from the heavens to the earth. As enemies to each other, you will find in the earth a residence and provision for your appointed stay. In conclusion, my friends, we learned that the first man and all of humanity was created from clay. The first human being created by Allah Almighty and the first prophet of mankind is Adam, peace be upon him. Allah Almighty created man to worship him and to populate the earth with good deeds, so that he may enter paradise and stay in it forever. Shaitan disobeyed Allah, so we should not follow him, so we don't enter hell with him.